Welcome to Whiskey's a Journey. My name is Peter Fastiano. Today's journey, we are going to be taking a look at my top 5 wheated bourbons. Now, if you guys have been following my Friday series, you notice that I am going through the whole gamut of whiskeys. Well, not all of them, but I've got a group of friends that are just getting into whiskey, and they want me to introduce them to all of these different types. So I introduced all of my friends to the top 5 beginning bourbons. And then I went to Scotch, and then I went to Irish. And today I'm going to introduce them to wheated bourbons. And then I'm going to start my part 2 all over again. We're going to kind of up the ante here with all of the different types of whiskey. So today it's wheated bourbon. So I've got a group of friends that are coming over. They want me to introduce them to a different style of whiskey, and I've chosen wheated bourbons. Wheated bourbons, kind of like regular bourbon, there has to be at least 51% corn, but the next grain that is the most dominant is going to be wheat instead of rye or instead of barley. And like always, I have criteria. So as they are coming over, the first thing that has to happen is I have to have all of these wheated bourbons in my collection. I don't want to burn out anybody's palate, so they're all going to be under 100 proof. And these are all shelfers. They should not be allocated. Now, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I understand that availability in other states might be a little bit different, but I have to go by what I have in Phoenix. And all of these have been on the shelves ever since I've gotten into whiskey. I'm gonna keep them all under $50 with the exception of one bottle. One bottle I just could not get under 70. So all of these bottles are gonna be under $50 with the exception of one. I have a flight of 5 whiskeys, and then at the very end of the flight, I'm going to introduce my drinkers to something a little bit special. A 6th bottle to cap off the night that does not fit the criteria. It's going to be something special. So with all that being said, let's get on to bottle number 1. Bottle number 1 is Larceny Small Batch. This is coming in at $25.49. 92 proof, 46% ABV. This is aged anywhere from 6 to 12 years, and the mash bill on this is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley, and this is coming out of the Heaven Hill Distillery. Now this one is coming in relatively sweet, and I've done a review on this one before on my channel. On the nose we get those really good caramel notes, brown sugar notes, but it's overall caramel sweetness. Again, nothing too strong. It's going to be pretty sweet for their palate. And you're going to see a common theme with these wheated bourbons. They're very soft and they're not very spicy. So there's going to be this blanket of softness that kind of goes over the tongue. And the spiciness is still there, but it's not the dominant note. So wheated bourbon number 1 is going to be the Larceny Small Batch. And before I go any further, let me know in the comments down below what your 5 plus your extra special bottle at the end would be. I'd be interested in seeing what you guys think about wheated whiskeys. This is just sweet goodness. Moving on to bottle number 2. Maker's Mark 46. This is coming in at $33.49. This is 94 proof, 47% ABV. This is rumored to be aged anywhere from 6 to 6.5 years. The mash bill on this is 80% corn, 16% red winter wheat, 14% malted barley. And this is distilled in Maker's Mark Distillery. Just like the Larceny Small Batch, this is coming in as pretty sweet. And I think overall wheated whiskeys are sweet. And unlike the Larceny Small Batch, the Maker's Mark 46 is coming in with a little bit more oak and a little bit more vanilla. Very nice mouth coating. Very, very rounded, not very sharp. This one does have a little bit of spice on the palate based on that oak note, but a very nice overall mouthfeel. Not very sharp, coats the mouth pretty well, and it has a good soft note to it. And it's kind of hard to explain what a soft note would be. You just kind of have to taste. Like for instance, if you were to do Wild Turkey 101, that's like a high rye mash bill, and compare it to this, it has a soft, pillowy-like feel in the mouth rather than getting hit with that spice. You just have to try it to see what I'm saying. Maker's Mark 46, pretty good one. Moving on to bottle number 3. Wyoming Whiskey. This is coming at 5 years. This is small batch, $45.99. This is 88 proof, 44% ABV, batch 108. And we've got a 68% corn, 20% wheat, 12% malted barley for the mash bill on this one. And put this one over here. We're gonna run out of room here in a little bit. This is independently owned. This is a family-owned distillery from Kirby, Wyoming. On the nose, this one is not as sweet as the others, and I'm getting a little bit of a sweet bakery, sweet baked bread notes on the nose. A little bit of spice coming through here as well, a little bit of cinnamon. Everything on the nose is coming through on the palate. This does give me the vibes of freshly baked bread, but a little bit of sweetness, like a sweet baked bread. Very nice and rounded on the palate, and I do believe this one is the lowest proof of all of them. You still get that nice pillowy, soft note on the palate, nothing burning, really good ABV. It's not going to chase anybody away. Overall, just a well-rounded wheated bourbon. Moving right along, bottle number 4. Bottle number 4 is Redemption. This is coming in at $47.99, 96 proof, 48% ABV. This one has a mash bill of 51% corn, 45% winter wheat, and 4% malted barley. This one is actually being distilled by Indiana, which probably means MGP or Ross and Squibb. This one and my 5th offering are going to have the exact same mash bill, but they're going to be aged differently. This one is coming in at 4 years. On the notes, definitely not as sweet as the first 2. On the nose, this one's giving me a little bit more of a graham cracker vibe, honey graham cracker. Let's get it on the palate. This one seems to be a little bit more spicy. I'm getting a lot of that honey graham cracker on the palate as well. We get some oak, and we also get that good caramel flavor towards the back end. This one does not seem to be as pillowy as all of the others. This one does hit pretty hard towards the back end as well. You get a little bit more of a tannin note, a little bit more of a bitterness, but overall it is still pretty damn good. All right, let's do a little bit more rearranging here. Let's move these over just a bit. And this is a good time as any. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this content. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you like this content, please do me a favor and subscribe. I am coming up on my 1-year anniversary in May. May 1st will be 1 year on YouTube. I would really like to make a strong push here to get the 2,000 subscriber mark. So if you do like this, give me a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Share this with somebody that's in the whiskey world that might get enjoyment out of it. And with all that being said, let's move on to bottle number 5. Bottle number 5 is coming in at the most expensive. This is going to be Old Elk. This is coming in at $72.99. 92 proof, 46% ABV. This is aged a minimum of 5 years, and the mash bill is the exact same as the Redemption, which is 51% corn, 45% red winter wheat, 4% malted barley. Again, the distillation of this is coming from Indiana, and I do believe that Old Elk is eventually going to be producing their own distillate. I'm not exactly positive. If you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. But this one, this wheated bourbon is coming from Indiana, which is MGP or Ross and Squibb. I get a blast of white fruit, more towards the peach side. We still have a tremendous amount of sweetness. I get that baked bread, the sweet baked bread goods as well. The nose on this one is absolutely amazing. Of all of them, this one is definitely my favorite. On the palate, caramel, oak. On the back end, we get those light fruits, also a little bit of red apple. And on the very back end, this develops into some cherry notes as well. For my palate, this one seems to be the most complex. Definitely does not have that pillowy effect, radiates in the mouth, and it develops more and more and more flavor as you go. There's a little bit of sharp edges here where you get a note here of cinnamon, you get a little note of caramel, a little bit of note of tannin, rounds out the tongue, a little bit bitter in the back end. You get that sweetness, you get the red apple. Yeah, this one just seems to unfold as you go. Definitely one of my favorites. So there you guys go. This is my 5 wheated bourbon flight. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. What are your 5? And just like always, you don't want to just end the night and say, there you go. You want to end it with a special pour. My special pour is going to be Weller Antique 107. This is coming in at MSRP like around $50, but good luck finding it at $50. This is going to be very, very difficult to find. I ended up buying this from a local liquor store that charged way too much money for it. But on the nose, it's fantastic. This is probably one of my very first favorite go-to whiskeys of all the whiskeys that I had. All of the Scotch, all of the bourbon, all of the Irish, all of the American single malts. This one, when I first had it, just knocked me out. It was absolutely wonderful. On the nose, you get a really good amount of caramel, oak, fruit, has a soft nose, even though it's coming in at 107. Again, very difficult to find in Phoenix. If you can get it, I would suggest not paying over $75 for it. If it's something that you absolutely have to have, maybe a little bit above 100, but definitely don't go what secondary is asking for these. I think I see them for $150, $200, $250. Don't pay that amount. Find somebody that has a bottle, find a bar that has a bottle of it, and get it there. On the palate, that's just Buffalo Trace goodness. This is being distilled by Buffalo Trace. This is their wheated mash bill, corn, wheat, and then barley. It's undisclosed what the percentages are. The oak is present, the caramel is present. Just an all-around really good wheated bourbon to finish off the night and set up the next flight that you're going to have probably in a month or so, just to kind of give them an introduction to what wheated bourbons are. So there you guys have it. Those are my top 5 beginner wheated bourbons. What are yours? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget about your 6th special bottle at the end that's going to finish off the night. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, share, do all those things that YouTubers ask you guys to do. And I will see you guys next time. Enjoy your journey. Talk to you later. Bye.